Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to AstralGames Day 100. Angoril Beans for Brains, Patrick, how are you guys doing? I hope everything is going well on your end. This is 100. The hype is real. The milestone is real as well. I'm really psyched for this one. Not only because it's a small milestone, but also because we're going to be playing Pillars of Eternity. A isometric RPG in the style of Baldur's Gate, Icewind Dale, all the other good games. If you do read my bio, or if you have read my bio, you'll notice that I have mentioned Baldur's Gate as my favorite game of all time, and that still holds true today, about 20 years later. And so I'm really psyched for this game. It's going to be amazing. I heard a lot of good things about it, even though I didn't hear the direct comparison between Pillars of Eternity versus Baldur's Gate directly, so I don't know if it's as good or even better, if that's even possible, but yeah, it's the same kind of game, so I'm really hyped. My expectations are quite high, so I am kind of nervous about that, the fact that my expectations are quite high, but I do know we're going to have a really fun time with this game. A lot of character creation is going on in this episode, I can tell you that. Took a peek at the character creation screen. There's a lot to decide on, so this episode is going to be a lot about character creation. But I'm sure there will be some gameplay as well. Another small milestone that we've reached is 700 followers. I don't care about numbers that much. I care about the people in the chat. It's about you guys. But yeah, it's just a small minor thing that's really cool to mention. And I even reached it while not streaming. I reached it after my Dark Souls episode on Tuesday, so that was really cool. From what I hear, it shouldn't disappoint. Yeah, I heard good stuff about this game. I'm really excited to jump into it. Yeah, I hope you guys are excited as well. A few announcements though, before we get all excited and jumping in. I'm going to start this show normally with announcements. Announcements is that next week I will probably only have one cast. AstralGames Day 101. And 699 other people crowding out my personal Astral stream. Oh man, that sucks. But yeah, so only one cast next week due to work. Lots of work activities once again. It's 101. I thought about how I'm going to do this, what direction to go in, because I've got a few games running right now. I've got this one after this stream. I've got this one running. I've got Dark Souls running. I've got Attila to the War campaign still running, and I've got a Crusader Kings 2 campaign still running. So I've got 4 games that I want to, they usually do it like this, 4 games that I want to run through. And then of course there are other games coming out later in the future that I also want to stream. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cycle through these 4 games. Just, cycle through them, making sure that at least they're all on the same episode, or maybe, one episode apart or something. So, Borderlands is with Jago, so we'll have to discuss that with Jago. That's an Astral special, that's not part of this official show, which has reached episode 100. So that's, I'm putting that aside for now. I'm now talking about like the AstralGames show, the show where I solo stream games. So, but the Borderlands will move on in Astral specials. Definitely every weekend that I have time, I'll contact Hugo and I'll ask if he has time at the moments that I have time, and then we'll continue onwards. So that will definitely move on. But these 4 games are the games I want to focus on now for the official AstralGames show. So we'll be cycling through them. That means that the coming AstralGames shows will be Pillars, Attila Pillars. Because Crusader Kings already has 2 episodes, Dark Souls already has 2 episodes, and Pillars and Attila only have 1 episode. So I'll be playing these games a bit to catch up, to make sure that everyone is on 2 episodes, and then of course the cycle starts again. I'll probably start with the games that I haven't played then, so that's Crusader Kings and Dark Souls, going to episode 3, and then Attila Pillars for episode 3, and then back to Dark Souls and Crusader Kings and Attila Pillars, and so on and so forth. Of course, not saying that every other game is now finished. That means that other games can come in too, but I'll just try to keep these games as the core games for now, until finished, which is going to take a long time, as I understand it. This game is a long game apparently, as is Dark Souls, as is Crusader Kings, and an Attila campaign is not the longest. I think Attila campaign will be the shortest, because the Rome campaign took me 8 episodes? Or something. 11? Something like that. So I think that will be the shortest, most definitely. Because Crusader Kings is a few hundred years, and we play about 10 years per episode. I don't know how long Dark Souls is, I've never played it. I don't know how long this is, I never played it. But since this is an isometric RPG in the style of Baldur's Gate, I'm expecting a lot of gameplay. Baldur's Gate, I basically finished Baldur's Gate 100%, playing 7 weeks in a row, going to school, from school, homework, playing. I played about 5 to 6 hours a day, and it took me about 7 weeks continuously, like no day off. So it's a long game, and I'm expecting this game to be as long, at least, maybe even longer, who knows. So we'll see how that goes, but that's going to be the plan for the future. For the immediate future, however, this weekend, yes, I'm already talking about this weekend even though we haven't started yet, but this weekend I'll be on Bookfish 35's channel. We'll be having 2 D&D nights in a row, where I will be DMing our D&D group through their adventures. And it's going to be really awesome. It's going to be really awesome. After this quest chain, I sat back, I took some time to explore what I actually had in terms of story and world stuffs, and I realized that I had to lay it on more thick. I'll have to pull them in a really cool story, because I've got this epic storyline in my head and I really want to pull them in. So the episodes after the blacksmith stuff are going to be really, really amazing, I think. And really, really epic stuff is going to happen. So that's going to be great. Follow Bookfish 35's channel for that. And yeah, excellent. Also, for everyone in chat who wants to help me, since story spoilers, since this is a story heavy game and story spoilers can happen, for everyone who wants to help me in chat with that, there is a bang blind command that I made specifically for this game. So you can type bang blind or exclamation mark blind to remind everyone in chat that this is a blind run and I don't want any story spoilers whatsoever. So yeah, that's I hope it works. Yeah, it works. Thanks, Philip. And yeah, so I made that one. Hey Sky, what's up? So yeah, next week, day 101. This weekend, D&D. And today, day 100, Pillars of Eternity. Let's jump into character creation. The announcements are done. Hyped. I'm super hyped about this. Sorry for the interruption in music. How are you doing, Sky? I hope everything is well today. Let us jump into the game. Oh my god, here we go. I have not yet pressed, well, I did press new game because I had to look, or I looked through the character creation screen, but really excited still. Here we go. Easy difficulty. The easy difficulty requires minimal micromanagement and easily forgives mistakes in combat. It is strongly recommended for those who are new or recently returning to real-time party-based RPGs. Not feeling easy. Even though I am a recently returned to real-time party-based RPGs because there haven't been any good ones lately, I might go with normal. The normal difficulty requires strategy and efficiency and forgives a few mistakes in combat. It is not recommended for newcomers to real-time party-based RPGs. Ha! I'm a Planescape Tournament / Baldur's Gate veteran. I can take normal difficulty. I've just eaten lunch. Currently trying to drink tea that's too hot. Oof. Yeah, don't drink tea that's too hot. First world problems. The hard difficulty is suited for Infinity Engine veterans, which are Baldur's Gate, Planescape Tournament, Neverwinter Nights, Icewind Dale. No, Neverwinter Nights, not Neverwinter Nights. No, Planescape Tournament, Baldur's Gate, Icewind Dale. Those are the Infinity Engine games. Who are looking for a challenge. Survival requires micromanagement and optimization of stats through item spells and abilities. For a first playthrough, I'm not feeling hard. Path of the Damned. In Path of the Damned difficulty, enemies receive a bonus to most stats and encounters have more enemies. Warning, this option can't be changed in game. It's only intended for players who want the most punishing encounters. Basically Dark Souls mode. Yeah, I'm feeling normal for my first playthrough ever of this game. Yeah. Also, there's going to be lots of reading. I'm going to read every single bit of lore information that I can, so yeah, that's going to happen on this stream, just to forewarn you guys. Expert mode. Oh, yeah, I don't do expert mode. It basically disables help tutorials and stuff. This is my first time playing. I want help tutorials. Trial of Iron. In Trial of Iron mode, only one save file is kept for the entire playthrough. If the player is killed, the file is deleted and you must start again. Yeah, let's not do that for our first playthrough. Do we get voices? I think this game is voiced. I believe this game is voiced. So I don't need to do the voices myself. Alright, just normal mode it is. Let's jump into the world of Pillars of Eternity. Obsidian. The bugs are real. Oh, see? Food items cannot be used in combat, but provide bonus over a long period of time. Good to know. Man, that loading screen's so good. Menu loading. So awesome. So hyped about this.
5 wagons grope blindly for the path on a starless night, their master glancing ever upward to the skies for assurance that he is on the right course. A dim lantern his only protection against the encroaching darkness. But the skies bring no comfort, shining no light, betraying no hint of what they know. The caravan carries travelers bound for the frontier hamlet of Gilded Vale, you among them, where a local lord has offered land and wealth to settlers from abroad looking for a fresh start. You have taken suddenly ill, sweating and shivering, and one of the other travelers signals for the caravan master to stop on your behalf. He pulls up just in time to avoid plowing into the trunk of a fallen tree that bars the way ahead. You will go no further tonight.
Ah, we're already starting with the ill trait. So, job requirements for delivery guys clearly don't include spelling. Just signed for a parcel for a neighbor and the guy asked to take my name. I said Phil Rich. Spelled rich for him before he asked. He said ok, handed me the pad to sign. And it said Phil Gratch. Voice acting happens in later part of the game. Well, we already had some voice acting. With the very first movie. But you could be right. I do all the voices that aren't voice acted. There you go. I watched another guys play it and kept skipping through the conversations because he read faster than the actor could speak. It annoyed me so much I left the stream. No, I'm going to let them speak out, of course. There's a voice acting throughout the game, but not a big part of it. There's lots of reading. Then prepare for lots of voices. So you need to read this game. Story is so important. It is, man. Story is amazing. Alright, so we're traveling with a caravan. We became ill. And they, like, stopped for us. Which is nice. But there's also a trunk barring our way. So I'm guessing ambush, maybe? Alright, guys, here we go. The screen will be spending most of this stream, I think. The character creation screen. Male. Sorry guys. The place of man in society varies from culture to culture. Cultures like Adia and Direwood, a colonial nation found by the settlers from the Adia Empire. Following a series of conflicts with the Adir, the territory became independent in 2672 AI and is now ruled by a duck. Who is elected by 7 Earls that oversee its earldoms. Really? Really? They've got a duck leading a colony. His chainmail is so shiny. Yeah, oh my god, graphics in this game. But anyway, cultures like Adir and Direwood place them at the forefront of military, politics and heavy labor. Among the tribes of the Na-Sitak, men perform many of the homesteading and organizational duties. In Aya Glanfath and Ixamitl, men and women have more fluid social roles. In all societies, there are exceptions to the rule, and men can be found in a wide variety of stations and professions. Okay, Aya Glanfath. A territory comprised of the forest southeast of the Bale River, populated indigenously by a group of loosely affiliated tribes, collectively known as the Glanfathans, and governed by a council of its 6 most powerful tribes. Glanfath is home to a large number of ruined Engwithan sites, which Glanfathans hold sacred. The ruins have been at the center of a number of large-scale conflicts with Drywooden colonists, whose settlements often encroach on Glanfathan territory, and who frequently seek to plunder the ruins for their relics. Duck. The thing that popped into my head is like, there's a duck ruling territory somewhere. That's... Okay, so there's a Drywood colony, Direwood. I keep calling it Drywood. Direwood. It's an old term. Oh, it does actually exist? Oh, wow. Okay. The things you learn. So Direwood is a colony from the Adia Empire, which is settled in Glanfath. And they... And there you find conflicts between the Direwooden colonists and the Glanfathans, or whatever they're called, for Engwithan sites. Well, see? The things that you learn. The things that you learn by reading this shit. Astral mentions a duck ruling. Yeah. It's weird, right? Okay, so this stuff already demonstrates what I'm going to do. I'm going to read a lot of stuff. And a lot of stuff is going to be gathering information because I want to know about the world. Alright, females. A woman's role in Eora, somewhere else I think, or that might be the world, is largely dependent on where she's from. I think Eora is the world. In the Adia Empire, Valian republics, and the Dyrwood, women occupy many domestic, educational, and organizational roles. They are the primary hunters, soldiers, and leaders of the tribe of Nasitak. In Aya Glanfath and Ixamitl, women and men have more fluid social roles. In all societies, there are exceptions to the rule, and women can be found in a wide variety of stations and professions. It comes from Dux, which is Latin. Not sure how it's pronounced though. Me neither. I just pronounce it the way I think it is, and if it's wrong, sorry. Alright, so we know about Dyrwood, we know about Aya Glanfath, but we don't know about Valian republics. Valian republics, a mercantile power and former colony of a larger, more ancient nation, Old Valia. The republics lie to the south of Dyrwood, okay, so Dyrwood, republics, and Aya Glanfath, and are ruled by a duck, another duck, elected by the Consuagli Asigea, or something. A council of 14 ducks, including its 5 most prominent, the Duck Bell. Oh, the prominent ducks. Nope, this character creation is going to take a long time. If you're here for gameplay, sorry man. Well, I'm going for... I feel most comfortable playing a male in my first playthrough, since I'm a male myself. A level 1 fighter? Oh god. Well, I guess we can select that later on. Okay, so I'm just trying to like soak in the lore. Bathe in the lore. That's what I'm trying to do. So that's why I'm reading everything. Humans, commonly called folk, are the most common race in the Dyrwood, Adia Empire, Old Valia, and the Valian republics. Though not as large as the towering Aumau, humans are known for their strength and willpower. Okay, so the Valian republics... yeah. They're the South Republic things. With the Council of the Ducks. It's worth it to see that Council of the Ducks. I just imagine this big council room with all those ducks sitting in like a line and like in circles. Like Roman Senate but filled with ducks. And they're all quacking at each other. Resolve. I don't think that's lore. Resolve reflects a character's internal drive, determination, fearlessness, and the emotional intensity they can project to others. Can be useful for mental intimidation, leadership, and convincing performances. Charisma, maybe? In combat, it helps characters maintain concentration and contributes to the will and deflection defenses. Hey, that's from D&D 4th edition, will and deflection defenses. I think this is something akin to charisma in D&D 4th edition, but I might not be sure. Might. Might represents a character's physical and spiritual strength, brute force, as well as their ability to channel powerful magic. Interesting how they combine that. During interactions, it can be useful for intimidating displays and acts of brute force. In combat, it contributes to both damage and healing, as well as the fortitude defense. So this, I would say this is strength, however they combine that with magic, which is very interesting. Hey Diego, what's up man? And Philip Rich, thank you for the host. This is an RPG indeed, this is a Infinity Engine RPG, the same engine that built Neverwinter Nights, Baldur's Gate, Planescape Torment, and Icewind Dale. No, not Neverwinter Nights. I keep saying Neverwinter Nights. Neverwinter Nights is not an Infinity Engine RPG. It's Icewind Dale, Planescape Torment, Baldur's Gate. Yeah, those 3. Hey, Sneaky Naked Warrior, what's up? Yes, I am role-playing. I'm going to role-play this character as well, of course. We're going to figure out a backstory, if we don't already have to select one, and we're going to role-play. Roleplay and, you know, soak in the Aomao. They look like they come from Avatar. The Aomao. The mighty Aomao are the largest of the Kith races and are commonly found in or near oceans. Though not truly aquatic, they have an affinity for water, and many of their civilizations, such as the Rautai, are based on naval dominance. They are known for their unparalleled might. We gain more might. And human gain might resolve. Okay. The Dwarfs. Of course, you can't have a fantasy universe without a dwarf. Hey, Jago Stream. Thanks for the host. By virtue of land covered and number of colonies settled, dwarves are the most well-traveled race in the world. They are commonly found in Direwood, already read about that, the Valian republics, and almost any colonized land. Dwarves are known for their great strength and tenacity. Might. Oh, we've got dexterity. Dexterity is an abstraction of a character's hand-eye coordination, balance, and overall grace. In interactions, it can be used for sleight of hand reaction and fast reactions. In combat, it affects the character's action speed with all attacks, spells, and abilities, and contributes to the reflex defense. Nothing about digging holes. Nope. Nope. It's not. There's nothing said about digging hole. Constitution is a combination of the character's overall health and stamina. Although it's not used much in interactions, it is sometimes checked to withstand pain or endure a physically taxing ordeal. In combat, it affects maximum health and endurance and contributes to the fortitude defense. So a lot of the defenses are about the same as the D&D 4th edition. There's fortitude, there's will, there's reflex. So yeah, RPGs must be a lot of fun to develop once you get the quest design. Hey, Fair Maximus, what's up? Penal. What the hell? Alright, elves. Of course, you can't have a fantasy realm, fantasy thing without elves. Elves are the dominant race in Aya Glanfath, and the white that went, and are extremely common in the Direwood and the Adia. Elves are known for their speed and intelligence, as well as a commonly isolationist nature. Perception is a new one. Represents a character's senses as well as their instinctive ability to pick up on details. In interactions, it can be used to catch someone in a lie, to make an observant comment about their appearance, or to notice something happening in the background. In combat, it contributes to the deflection and reflex defenses, and grants a bonus to interrupt. Heard this game was supposed to be quite nice. We're going to find out. I am doing great, Maximus. I'm looking forward to this weekend, where I do have a lot to do, lots of work, and we're going for a double D&D session this weekend. So for me, this weekend is going to be wake up, work, D&D, wake up, work, D&D. Which is going to be really tiring, but I'm really looking forward to it. And I'm also looking forward to next week, where I'm going to be laying some groundwork for my company for new assignments for the coming months. As well as stream once more. Next week we'll have one episode 101, where we will be playing Attila. We haven't gotten very far, but the chainmail's pretty. Yeah, right? I know, right? We're a fighter, apparently. The Orlan. They look like they came straight out of Guild Wars 2 and didn't look as cute. Don't look as cute anymore. The Orlans are the smallest of the Kith races, although many cultures don't consider them to be civilized at all. Also notable for their large ears, two-toned skin, and hirsute bodies? I'm not English, I don't know what that means. Orlans are commonly found in Ir Glanfath, the Ixamital Plains, and parts of the Direwood. They are known for their mental intensity and quickness. Yep, we've read all those three. Godlike. So the Unreal Tournament announcer got its own race. Need to get Laura to make me a nice channel shirt like that. Night out in Manchester. The godlike are the children of the Kith, civilized races. Oh, so that's what Kith means. Interesting. Who have been blessed with physical aspects associated with the gods, though some do not consider it a blessing. These aspects may take many forms, and often come with mystical powers. Aberrant head shapes are typical, and godlike are unable to wear protective headgear, as it is near impossible to find anything that fits. Because of their unusual nature and their inability to reproduce, godlike are often viewed with fear and wonder. Okay, so humans. I usually don't play humans in an RPG because we're humans already in the real world, and I use RPGs to play fantasy races. Not really keen on Orlan. Dwarfs, yeah, maybe. Dwarfs are pretty cool. These guys, though the Amawa, and the godlike are the most like fantasy thing. Humans are boring. Well, they're not boring per se, but we are humans, so I know. I like the look of the Aumaua. Large race, like large bulky stuff. Truly aquatic. Well, not truly aquatic, but you know, affinity for water. The godlike. Oh, intellect. We haven't read intellect yet. Intellect represents character logic and reasoning capabilities. In interactions, it can be useful for deductions, sudden realizations, and problem solving. In combat, it contributes to the will defense and influences durations and areas of effects for all abilities and talents. In real life, elves are humans. We are humans, says Astral in voice, sounding very much like the Vork. I smell a Vork streamer here. Oops! Got discovered! Crap! Back to the collective. Failed my mission. I don't know, man. The aquatic. I don't know. I'm not fond of the whole. Yeah, let's go with Aumaua for now. Sarcastral install a regeneration chamber for your visit. I can't imagine going back to the collective. Resistance is futile, yeah. Let's go with the Aumaua. I like the look of that. A bit Avatar-esque. Avatar, the movie from what was his face again? Not the anime, but the, you know, the CGI movie. Coastal Aumaua. Viewed as a warlike race, the coastal Aumaua live in mainland region along the coast of the northern hemisphere. Okay. Inland lands they conquered by pushing Thirton, meadow folk, Natlan, savannah folk, and Orlan communities out. Oh, so I can see Orlans being pretty pissed at us. I'm already godlike in real life, so that would be boring. Oh, 2 decisions have been made, Sky. We're male Aumaua. Yes, we've chosen male or female, and we've chosen our race. There you go. 2 choices. So I think Orlans will be pretty pissed at us. Their culture is more centralized and urban than their island cousins, though both groups are involved in seafaring. Coastal Aumaua are very rare in the Direwood, but those that do make the journey usually do so as mercenaries, bodyguards, or soldiers. Towering physique. Coastal Aumaua gain bonuses to defend against prone and stun effects. Prone characters can't take action, dexterity is reduced by 2. Reflex and deflection are reduced by 10. Oh, changed the color. Island Amawa, originating in the Deadfire Archipelago, 1,000 miles south of the Valian Republics. While physically similar to their coastal cousins, the coloration of Island Amawa is starkly different. Brown and yellow, contrasting the coastal's blue and green. Though still uncommon in the Direwood and surrounding environments, Island Amawa are more commonly encountered there than coastal Amawa, who are quite rare. When encountered around the Direwood, they are often laborers, fishermen, or sailors. On to the teeth. All Island Amawa gain an additional weapon set. I don't know how effective that is. I would say bonus to defend against prone and stun would be better, but then again, I don't know this game. Took a screenshot at the beginning of character creation. Astral is visibly aged by the end of it. Well, we're only 4 hours away after character creation. All right, let's go coastal. I like the look of coastal. I'm going to Avatar style. All right, the class. So they have 2 sets to switch between at any time. Yeah, apparently. He won't visibly age, but he's having too much fun. Yeah, I'm having fun, man. I like character creation stuff. You don't want to see my D&D character creation file. You don't want to see that. It's like 2 gigs worth of characters. Well, every file is like 5 megabytes worth in size or something. I've created a shit ton of characters. He didn't have facial hair when he began. If anything, he'll get younger. Oh man. The Barbarian. Oh, there goes our shiny chainmail. Brutes. Madmen. Berserkers. Though city-dwelling people often use the term barbarian with a dose of disrespect, these rural warriors are respected by their communities for their ferocity and fearsome presence on the battlefield. Barbarians have a special, almost religious role in some cultures, but in many places the undisciplined, fearless style of the barbarian is simply how warriors conduct themselves. I take like half an hour to make one Demon Souls character and character creation is crap. Yeah, I know what you mean. Starting ability, Carnage, when barbarians hit. Explain hit. A hit is any attack roll that is between 51 and 100. Interesting, so it's a D100 system. When an attack scores a hit, it does standard damage and has standard duration. When barbarians hit with melee attacks, they automatically make reduced damage attacks at all other enemies within a short distance of the target. Damage types. There are 8 damage types. Slash, pierce, crush, burn, shock, corrode, freeze, and raw. Damage types are used to determine how easily a target resists damage of the type based on their damage reductions. A creature or suit of armor may be very resistant to one type of damage, but quite vulnerable to the other. Some weapons or attacks may do multiple damage types, or list an OR between their damage types. When an OR is listed, the attack will always do the damage type that the target is most vulnerable to. Raw damage is the only damage type that ignores all damage reductions and is generally associated with poisons and similar effects. Okay. Interesting. So yeah, athletics. Adventuring is tiring work. Traveling, fighting, and scrambling up fallen statues can take its toll. The athletic skill counters the effects of accrued fatigue, allowing characters to go further and fight longer before they suffer penalties. In conversations and scripted interactions, athletics is used for physical feats like climbing, swimming, and jumping. Survival. Survival allows characters to make better use of the food and potion items they find. The higher the character's survival skill, the longer the duration of such items. Survival can be used in conversations and scripted interactions that involve wilderness challenges or specialization information. If you can dig me up a copy. They already dug him out. I think. Endurance represents a character's short-term survivability. Damage that is not absorbed by a character's damage reduction goes straight to their endurance and health. Potions and healing magic, such as from a Paladin, Priest or Druid, can restore endurance in combat. When a character's endurance reaches 0, he or she will be knocked out. A knocked out character can be brought back into combat through the use of a revive ability. Otherwise, characters will regain all of their endurance at the end of combat, assuming they're on the winning side. Health. Health is a long-term damage only regained through rest and certain talents. Damage that is not absorbed by a character's damage reduction goes straight to their health and endurance. Oh, damage that is not absorbed, okay. When a character's health reaches 0, they will either be maimed or killed, depending on the game's settings. A maimed character, who is reduced to 0 health, will always be killed regardless of settings. Unlike endurance, a character's health does not get restored after combat, but characters have much larger health values than endurance values. Okay, so endurance is... So when people hit you, the damage goes from your endurance, and then, once your endurance is gone, it will go to your health, or something like that. That's what I think. 6 times the endurance, very high. I actually haven't gotten past to choosing class yet on Baldur's Gate. Oh my god. I played Baldur's Gate with a cleric. Cleric is amazing. Accuracy. Accuracy is part of almost every attack. It influences how likely the attack is to affect the target. Accuracy is defined primarily by a character's class and level, but it's also influenced by talents and other active effects such as spells or items. When an attack is made, the accuracy is compared to the appropriate defense on the target to determine how the attack roll will be modified. If accuracy is above the target's defense, it will be more likely to result in a hit or crit, less likely to result in a graze or miss. Any ability or talent that does not use a weapon as part of the attack gains a small accuracy bonus based on the level of the character. And deflection. Deflection is the defense used to resist direct melee and ranged attacks against a character that are not area of effect. It is defined by the character's class, level, perception and resolve, but may also be influenced by shields, certain weapons, talents and other effects from spells and items. Alright, so a lot of information about the mechanics of the game there. The Cypher. A recent discovery in Eastern Reach. The Cyphers were once called Brisalguin, Mind Hunters, by the Glanfatans. Oh my god, all those new sentences, or new words one after another. Cyphers have the ability to directly contact and manipulate another person's soul and psyche, using an ally's or enemy's essence as the focus for their magic. Though most Cyphers are still found in the Eastern Reach, practitioners of the techniques have spread throughout the known world. They are gaining acceptance over time, but are generally distrusted, especially by the uneducated. Powers. Cyphers can directly target allies and enemies with powerful soul-focused effects. These powers cost focus, which Cyphers build through the use of their soul whip. Stealth allows characters of any class to attempt to avoid being seen or heard. It is used automatically whenever the character is in scouting mode. The higher the character's skill, the closer they can get enemies. Lore. Lore represents a character's accumulated miscellaneous knowledge and trivia, often of occult or historic topics. Outside of conversations and scripted interactions, lore is used to activate scrolls. Higher lore values allow the character to use higher level scrolls. Mechanics. Traps and locks can be a problem for even the toughest adventurers, draining their resources and maintaining or killing those who are unfortunate enough to trigger an unseen floor plate. The mechanic skill makes it easier to open locks and find and disable traps. Additionally, any character can use the mechanic skill to place traps of their own. The higher the mechanic skill, the more accurate the trap. In conversation and scripted interactions, mechanics can be used to activate or disable a variety of machines. Alright, and this is their low. Interesting. A fighter. Fighters form the front line of the disciplined armies across the Eastern Reach, though they are the most commonly found in cultures with an organized martial structure. Fighters can also be encountered as wandering mercenaries, bodyguards, and other types of sellswords. Common element that unifies fighters is their heavy focus on endurance and melee defense. Constant recovery. The amount of time that a character spends between actions. Longer actions result in proportionally longer recovery. Armor also has a large effect on recovery. Generally, heavier armor inflicts longer recovery penalties. Alright. Continue to regenerate endurance. I'm not a fan of fighters. In general. Paladin. Paladins are martial zealots, devoted to a god, a ruler, or even a way of life. They can be found in any culture where a fanatical group of like-minded individuals have formed a warrior society dedicated to advancing their cause, among those aligned to their worldview. Paladins are viewed with respect and admiration, if a bit of fear. Many paladins hold leadership positions in armies and mercenary companies, but in the heat of battle, their fanaticism often overrules the chain of command and common sense. Faith and conviction. Paladin have an inherent bonus to all of their defenses. Poof. 4 defenses: deflection, fortitude, reflex, and will. Sounds like D&D 4th edition. Each defense is used to resist a different category of attacks through the attack roll. Deflection is used to resist most direct weapon attacks, or attacks that are similar to weapons. Fortitude opposes physical attempts to overpower a character or attack their body internally. Example, via poison. Physical area effect attacks, like fireballs and lightning bolts, are resisted by reflex. Almost all mental attacks are opposed by will. Fortitude, reflex, and will are all based on pairs of attributes. Might and constitution define fortitude, dexterity and perception define reflex, and intellect and resolve define will. Base deflection is defined by the character's perception and resolve. Alright, all that information. All characters gain flat bonuses on their defense every level. Additionally, spells abilities. Blah, blah. Damn, yeah, now we're a Navi. Okay, so they have an inherent bonus to defend. Over the course of the game, the value of this bonus may shift based on the reputations the paladin gains relative to the behaviors that are preferred by his or her order. Okay, so just like in the previous D&D editions, a paladin is locked into a certain alignment or god or whatever. That doesn't make me the biggest fan of them, but yeah, maybe. We'll see. I love paladins in general, but rule systems that lock them into a certain god or order or whatever, I'm not too fond of. Because then you have to play a certain way. Which, Rangers are warriors of the woodlands and masters of the hunt. Always partnered with soul-bounded animal companions, they can be found in wild spaces all over the world. As their lifestyles often tend towards independence and isolation, it is rare for rangers to become an integral part of a large fighting force, though they are often employed as scouts and guides. That guy's a huge chest? Yeah, it's a physical race. It's a physical race. Animal companion. All rangers share a strong bond with an animal companion. The companion fights at the ranger's command and is extremely valuable for its ability to run interference. Animal companions don't do much damage, but they have a high damage reduction. The link between the ranger and the companion is powerful. If one goes down in battle, the other suffers as well. Stealth and survival, already read those. Wizard. The masters of academic magic. Wizards are students of arcane traditions that stretch back beyond the boundaries of recorded history. Wizards are a highly organized group, often forming academies or guilds devoted to research and development in magical studies, and tend to favor environments where inquiry, experimentation, debate, and the dissemination of knowledge are encouraged. Many accomplished wizards eventually become known for their eccentricity, their egos, and their unquenchable interest in all things arcane and occult. Arcane Assault, mid-range attack that hits a small area for raw damage and can leave the target dazed. Well, I can imagine what dazed does, but accuracy is reduced by 10, or reduced by 2, and attack speed by 15. Okay, so general hindering / slowing thing. Spells. Wizards have access to a variety of offensive and personal defense spells. Unlike priests and druids, wizards learn individual spells that they store in and cast directly from their grimoire. Grimoires can only hold 4 spells of each level, which motivates wizards to keep multiple grimoires for different needs. Every 2 levels, a wizard gains access to an additional set of spells. However, they can automatically learn 1 spell of any level they can access at any time in advance. Oh, they can access each time they advance, okay? Wizards also have the option of learning spells from grimoires they find or buy. Initially, their spells can be cast a limited number of times per rest. As wizards gain power, their weaker spells eventually shift to per encounter use. Oh man. Okay, so they also use the per encounter thing. Man, this starts to look like D&D 4th edition more and more. Hey, like, what's up? What's up? Alright, the Chanter. In every culture across Eora, there are Chanters. Many historians consider Chanters to be the most ancient workers of magic, their hallowed phrases stirring the collective memory of wayward souls around them, compelling them to generate magical effects in a kind of reenactment. In some societies, Chanters form organized groups of storytellers and researchers, but in most parts of the world they are just a time-honored part of local folk traditions. All Chanters can continuously speak chants made up of magical phrases. Phrases produce passive effects. Why would I need to know what passive is? Passive talent or ability is one that can be added to the character where the bonus is gained automatically. Duh! For example, the character with snake's reflexes gains their bonus to reflex saves automatically. Hey, like, thanks for the host, man. Oh, I totally forgot something. Now that I see like in chat, I totally forgot something. I'll come back to that once we're done with this. Invocations, powerful magical effects that chanters can create after they've spoken a required number of phrases through their chants. This one sounds really interesting. Before I move on, before I forget, I will be creating a poll this break to see how many North American versus European players are in chat. If there are more than 3 of any category, so more than 3 North American players versus more than 3 European players, I will be giving away a Heroes of the Storm beta key provided by Like and Joe Burns, I believe was the other user. So thank you guys for the keys. But if there are more than 3 of one region, I'll be giving away the key. So if there are more than 3 NA people, I'll be giving away the NA key. If there are more than 3 European people, I'll be giving away the European key. If there are more than 3 from both, I'll be giving away both keys. So we'll be doing a giveaway to celebrate AstralGames Day 100 and 700 followers on this channel. The key will be for Heroes of the Storm beta. I already have access to the game. I've played it. It's really cool. It's really great. It's a casual MOBA. Like, yes you did. I have it. It's a casual MOBA. It's really, really cool. I'll be creating the poll in the break. So vote on the poll whether you want the EU key or the NA key. And if we've got more than 3, I'll be giving it away somewhere along in this cast. So yeah, keep your eye out for that. So the Chanters sound really, really interesting. Also, Like has been giving me way more keys to give away. I will be giving away another key at some point in another cast. But for this cast, I'll be giving away the Heroes of the Storm keys. Alright, so Druids. Okay, what is he carrying? A topside head? Or something? I don't know. Animists at heart, Druids step into the spiritual power that flows through the simple living things of Eora. Plants, animals, and sometimes even living stone. While not necessarily religious, Druids do have a reverence for the natural world and keen interest in understanding its mysteries. Most cultures, Druids are understood as sort of primal magician, but among the Glanfatans, Nasi, Taki, and many rural cultures, they have high positions of influence and authority. Spirit Shift, all Druids have mastered one animalistic form. These forms give the Druid strong melee abilities and grant additional powers while the Druid is shifted. Druids have access to a variety of offensive and sometimes and some support-oriented spells. Every 2 levels, Druids automatically gain access to an additional set of spells. Initially, their spells can be cast a limited number of times per rest, and then they shift to per encounter. A monk. Monks belong to a variety of fighting orders that have sprung up in Ixamitel and the Eastern Reach over the past few centuries. While many monastic orders can trace their teachings to the enduring founder, Tulatak, individual organizations vary greatly in their focus, morality and ethics. Common folk respect the incredible discipline of monks, but see them as an odd, unpredictable bunch who may not entirely be sane. Even mercenaries and other adventurers aren't sure what to make of them. That's also a very interesting history to have. Transcendent suffering. When monks have no weapons equipped, their unarmed attacks are exceptionally powerful and continue to increase in damage as they gain levels. Wounds. As monks are damaged, their pain generates wounds. Wounds can be used in power of many monk special abilities. Okay, so you want to get damaged. Interesting concept. Priests are devotees of Eora's deities and practitioners of religious magic. While all priests dedicate themselves to specific gods, priests' power is actually derived from their personal beliefs. In contrast to most paladins, priests tend to focus on philosophy, teaching, and the relationship of religious organizations with the common folk. The reception of priests in any given part of the world depends largely on how their god is revered, or reviled, by the people who live there. Holy Radiance generates a modest amount of endurance for all allies around the priest. Any enemy vessels caught in the area take burn damage and may be frightened. Over the course of the game, the power of this ability may shift based on the reputation the priest gains relative to their behaviors that are preferred by his or her deity. Again, that last sentence makes you think you're stuck to a specific playstyle, which is, I'm so opposed to that one, especially for a first playthrough. Spells. Priests have access to a variety of support and some offensive-oriented spells. Every 2 levels, priests automatically gain access to an additional set of spells. Initially, their spells can be cast a limited number of times per rest. As priests gain power, their weaker spells eventually shift to per encounter use. Last but not least, we're almost done, guys. The Rogue. Rogues are vicious killers, feared for their brutality of their attacks. They can be found as often in the dark black alleys as the heart of battlefield skirmishes. Though unpredictable and undisciplined, rogues are commonly used as shock troops. Oh, it's also a damage type. Well, it's not a damage type in this sentence, but whatever. Or as part of a surprise assault. Their withering attacks breaking enemy ranks and morale. Rogues tend to congregate in larger numbers in cities where they can be steadily employed as mercenaries or hired muscle. Sneak attack applies bonus damage to the rogue's ranged and melee weapon attacks when the target has one of the following afflictions: blinded, flanked, hobbled, paralyzed, petrified, prone, stuck, stunned, or weakened. It also applies to any target the rogue strikes with a weapon within the first 2 seconds of combat. Okay, not a fan of rogues. Chanters sounded really cool. I like the weapon as well, but yeah, the singing and stuff. Or the storytelling. That sounded really, really awesome. So I would like to say Chanter. Priest and Paladin are usually classes I play as well, but I'm not fond of the entire stuck to your alignment / behavior thing. Especially not for a first playthrough where I don't know what will happen, so I don't know what I want, how I will react. Cypher, a soul thing. The D&D Psionic, I think. It's okay. I'm just really fond of the Chanter, so I think I'll be picking Chanter for this one. Like the singing and the storytelling, a bard kind of thing. Yeah, I'm feeling it. So let's go with Chanter. Oh god, phrases. While Chanters continuously speak chants made up of magical phrases and help build the chant's power until they can use an invocation. Blessed was Wengdith, quickest of his tribe. Increases the movement rate and reflex of all allies. Oh wait, can we select 2? Yeah, we can select 2. Dull the edge, blunt the point. Hey Chago, what's up, man? Listening to class talk. That sounds interesting. And pizza lunch. Oh god, pizza. So awesome. Reduces slashing and piercing damage of all enemies in the area of effect. So this one reduces damage. This one increases reflex. I would say dull the edge and blunt the point is the better one of these two. Thick grew their tongues, stumbling over words. Reduces concentration of enemies. Okay. Come, come, soft winds of death. Drains a portion of the endurance. That is interesting. From all enemies. At the sight of their comrades, their hearts grew bold. Emboldens allies in the area of effect, giving bonuses to fortitude and will. Okay, so I'm thinking... What was concentration again? Determines how likely they are to have their spells interrupted during combat. Every point of resolve increases a character's concentration and is opposed by the attack's interrupt rating. Like attack rolls, interrupts use randomized rolls to determine if the interrupt was successful. So more interruption. Oh, class talk was your rambling. Well, I hope it was interesting. I'm still on the class talk. I'm thinking come soft winds of death and dull the edge, blunt the point. Like support my allies by being able to reduce their damage while still being offensive by being able to drain. And drain implies that I will be getting it. So, that would make it really awesome. Although the concentration, I don't know how much -10 is, but yeah, we might be able to select more next level. Oh god, invocations. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. However, it is time for the first break. 1 hour has passed, and we're still on character creation as expected. We are not done with character creation yet. We have only selected our sex, our race, and we are now busy building our class. This sounds so complicated, can't you just hit stuff? No, that would be the most boring thing. Just hitting stuff. I like the complication thing. I don't know how much -10 is. Oh god. Yeah, well, there you go. Quote added. Look out for the poll being created during the break, and please do vote on it. Because I want to know how many people are interested in the either EU or NA key. So we'll be checking that out. And yeah, for myself, I'll be back in 3 to 4 minutes, and we'll be continuing to create our character. Character creation continues after this.